on the back end of that. Good stuff from De'Aaron Fox. And Sacramento Kings, after an 0-5 start, have won 2 in a row now. 46 out of the backcourt of Hield and Fox. The Knicks are 1-6. They shot 40% in this game. Here's David Fizdale on what happened and what's ahead.
It's just a crap game. We had nothing. We did nothing right. We didn't execute on either end of the floor. You know, to keep it in perspective for our guys, we've played 6 crap quarters this whole season. 3 of them was in this game. And unacceptable, obviously. You know, we got to take it. We got to own it. And we'll get back to the film and regroup.
You subbed RJ back in with 9 minutes to go, and he played 41 minutes total. You guys were losing by 20 at that point. He's already put on a lot. Do you worry about the stress you're putting on?
He's got the day off tomorrow. We got to get off of this load management crap. Latrell Sprewell averaged 42 minutes for a season. Like, this kid's 19 years old. Like, drop it already.
Take that for data. Right? You guys are a little old school. You buy that?
Well, I am old school, but this is the thing, and this is where I differ a little bit. I've been around a lot of teams, the bad teams that draft a lot of young players. Physically, when you put 82 games on them with the travel, and people forget this, NBA teams practice. Yeah. You may not practice for 2 hours like we used to, but you're going to go in there for an hour and 30 minutes, and then you're going to get your individual work done. So they practice. Those young guys, they're not physically or more so mentally ready for that grind. They don't know how to keep their body in shape. They don't know how to keep their body strong. They don't know how to sleep right, eat right, rest right, all those things. So to me, we need to be careful with these young guys because their body's not developed. That's when they get hurt and they start breaking down. Think about this, B. After a month and a half, 2 months, you played your entire college season. You're just not a third of the way through the NBA season. So to me, Matt, I understand the load management, but to me, you have to take in consideration that these young guys coming into the league after 32 games, they don't have a clue of what it takes to get their body physically and mentally ready to play. We need to be careful, and we need to watch their minutes.
We do, and I look at it the other way, and I say that putting him back out there in a game like that allows him to get some valuable experience out there on the floor that he can't get. Mm-hmm. But I think that you have to pull him aside and say, look, the game is out of hand. I'm gonna put you back out there in the game, and I don't want you to develop bad habits. So continue to play the game the right way, even though
I don't want you out there just going for points.
That's right. That's right. Play the game the right way. Take what the defense gives you, play in the rhythm of the offense, and get that valuable experience. There's a way to load manage without actually sitting guys out of games, and you can load manage by just cutting minutes back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I played for Phil Jackson. There was always a badge of honor within our team of wanting to play 82 games.
Yes.
And that's been lost somewhere, in all of this. And so, in those moments when you want to give some guys a rest, when you already have your playoff position solidified, then you can say, okay, I'm only going to play you in the first quarter or the third quarter. You do that twice, you basically taking a game off if you're only playing 24 out of 48 minutes, in 2 games. And so, there's ways to do that. But, you have to be careful now with these young guys. I agree. When we came in the league, there weren't many guys that had just come out of high school or just 1 year.
We had played 3-4 years of college basketball.
Exactly.
Right.
And so you're coming in playing against grown men whose bodies are physically mature. I talked about it with Kevin off camera earlier. Derek Harper, Alvin Robertson, Joe Dumars, when I came in the league.
You couldn't move.
180, when you can hand check,
Yep.
They would put their hand right around my waist, and they were guiding me around the floor. My feet were moving, but I had no control of where I was going. And that was after 4 years of college. So imagine if I came in as a 18, 19-year-old trying to play against these grown men and physically not being able to do it. That didn't happen then. And now, we're seeing it more now. And the bad thing about it is the coach is still expected to win with these guys that aren't ready to play and aren't ready to win yet.
And Bishaw, it is not the 41 minutes. It's not putting them back out there because you want your young guys to play and develop. And sometimes you put them out there just to see them fight through tough situations. Right. But again, you got to have a plan, and there's got to be a reason. And they have to understand, if you're just out there chasing points because it's garbage time,
sure.
No, now you're picking up bad habits that's going to hurt us.
Doesn't help you at all.
No, that doesn't help you at all. If I'm going to play you, I want to put a group of guys out there that's going to play the right way, execute the plays, and I'm going to run stuff and then make sure you're playing defense. So there's a method to the madness, but just to leave them out there for 41 minutes and they're empty, and some of them are empty minutes, I don't agree with that.
Kings led this game by as many as 32. In the last few days, we saw the Warriors lose Steph Curry for what seems like it's going to be at least half of the season. Draymond Green is currently out. They started a lineup the other day that most people couldn't pick out of a lineup. There seems to be an opportunity in the West that maybe didn't exist at the beginning of the season. Are the Sacramento Kings talented enough with De'Aaron Fox as ostensibly their best player to fill that void, to make it into that top 8?
I think coming into this 0-5, as contagious as losing could be, winning can be contagious too. And so now they've strung together 2 games in a row. They won, I believe, their first road game. And now, if they can string some more together and get that feeling, the sky is the limit for this team.
Should this roster be a playoff team?
I don't know. We won't know until the big fella come back because he's so important to what they do on both ends of the floor. Man, it's hard to say that, Matt, in the Western Conference because there's so many good teams. And this is the thing. It's going to be a couple of good teams that don't make the playoffs.
Sure.
And Sacramento, and this is the thing we talked about early before the season started. There are going to be some teams that improved. They're going to be better, but it may not show up in the win total, and it may not show up on the stats, but the coach and the general manager swear to you that they've improved. It's just that the West has improved and it's tougher.
Yep. Let's get you out to Cleveland here in just moments.